everyone. It's Jen Arkfeld from Stamp Silly. I've got a really cool technique to show you today, and the technique is how I created this background paper with a couple household items that I'm sure you've got on hand. So let me show you how I did this. First off, I'm going to start out with a paper plate, and you can use a paper plate or a cookie sheet, whatever works for you. And then go raid your husband's medicine cabinet, and you just need some shaving cream. And I'm just I actually used up my husband's shaving cream, so I just went and bought the cheapest shaving cream I could find. So you're going to squirt that on your paper plate, and my plate is actually a plastic plate so that it doesn't soak into the paper. Then I'm just using a bone folder. I'm going to spread this around as best as I can, and like so. You might want to have a paper towel handy just to clean off some of the mess you're going to make. You are going to get messy and inky, but it's super fun. So, okay, there I've got my shaving cream all spread out as good as I could get it. Now, I'm going to use 3 different colors of re-inker, and I'm going to start with the lightest one, which is my Pool Party. So I'm just going to drop, because it's the lighter color, the lightest color, I can use quite a bit of it. So I'm going to drop several drops of re-inker, like that. Then I'm going to use Island Indigo, which is Pool Party's dynamic duo, kind of like Batman and Robin, right? Okay, and you'll notice I didn't use nearly as many drops of the Island Indigo. And lastly, I'm going to add a few drops of, Tempting Turquoise. That was a big drop. That was a double drop. I think that's probably good. Okay, now take an old paintbrush or something of that sort, and I'm actually going to use the tip end. You're just going to start swirling your ink drops into the shaving cream. Now, if you do this on a cookie sheet, you can do an entire 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper all at once, and then let it dry and cut it into pieces. Here I see I've used almost too much maybe Tempting Turquoise, but the effect will be cool nonetheless. And so you just swirl that around, and you may want to bring in some of the clean shaving cream if you don't want it so colorful. You'll notice the more you swirl, the more your design becomes. And if you want, you could do a deliberate design, like something like this, like a star effect or whatnot. It's totally up to you, and it's totally going to be random in the end. So there I created a little bit of a star effect, and we'll see what that turns out like on my cardstock. So now I'm just taking a piece of cardstock, and it's actually about the size of a card front, a little bit bigger, and I'm pressing that into this shaving cream, and you'll notice, hopefully, you can see that it's squishing out along the outside edges, like that, and I want to press the middle really good. We don't want any blank spots, okay? So then grab a corner and pull it up, and you'll see you've got a big mess. No big deal. You're going to bring in another paper plate, this time a clean one, and grab your bone folder, lay this down, grab your bone folder, and squeegee off all of that excess shaving cream. So, whether you like this look or not, here's the kicker. If you take another piece of paper, I'm going to take this away, take another piece of plain cardstock, and bring back your shaving cream that's all messed up. You know what? And I'm going to flip in some of the unused stuff, and just re-swirl it a little bit. Have fun with this. This is a great thing for your kids to do with you. We're just going to swirl that around some more. If you wanted to, you could re-add some ink drops. As you notice that some of them are becoming quite a bit faded or whatnot, swirl some of those back around. Now, if I go back with my paper, I'm actually, hold on here, I see a blank spot, so I'm going to pull some shaving cream in there. Okay, now go back with your paper. Look how messy my fingers got. That's why kids like this, because it's an absolute mess. But it's so cool. And so I'll pull that up again, and let's see what we have this time. It'll be a totally different look. And like I said, that's what's really fun about this, is you never know what you're going to create. Okay. So there's paper number 2. Oops. This time I'm not going to swirl any of that around because I think it looks kind of cool just like that. But I might drag some of this in there. Okay, and we'll press it down. Pull it up. And bring in this other one. Now see how different that one is? Completely different, right? So once you have these, then you're going to want them to dry, and you can use them to create your card like I've done here. Oops, there you go. That's a better view. Now let me show you what these all look like as we did them. So the first one, very, very intense with the colors. The second one, a little bit lighter. And the last one, way more muted. But very cool, huh? And this is a totally different look yet. So here I used greens. And here's a huge sheet of 8.5 by 11. I hope you will try this technique for yourself. And like I said, don't be afraid to get your kids involved. And you can create these awesome backgrounds with things you have in your house already. Let me know if you have any questions, and as always, check in next week for more from Stamp Silly. Thanks.